Every day, the streets of the city are filled with people. They rush from place to place, lost in their own thoughts, unaware of what's happening around them. Among them is a man standing on the corner of a busy street, his guitar in hand. He's been there for hours, just like yesterday, and the day before that. His name is Alex. Alex is a street performer. His music is his life. He sings with all his heart, pouring every emotion into each note, hoping someone will stop to listen. But most people just walk by, they don't notice him. He's just another face in the crowd. His clothes are worn, his shoes a little torn, but his voice is something special. You wouldn't know it by looking at him. He doesn't look like a star. He doesn't have the shiny clothes or polished shoes of a famous artist. But when Alex sings, something magical happens. His voice cuts through the noise of the city and fills the air with emotion. Some days, he doesn't make much money. A few coins, maybe a couple of bills. Enough to get by, but not much more. But Alex doesn't mind. He's not in it for the money. Music is in his soul. He sings because it's the only way he knows how to express what's inside him. His songs are a mix of hope, love, and dreams. Dreams of something bigger, something beyond this street corner. He sees the world differently from the people who rush past him. He doesn't need fame or fortune to feel fulfilled. But deep down, Alex wonders what it would be like if someone truly saw him. If someone heard his music and saw the talent he knew was inside him. Every day, he hopes for that moment, a moment when someone might stop and listen. But for now, he continues to sing, pouring his heart into each note, knowing that tomorrow will be just like today. On the other side of the city, in a towering glass building, there's a man who seems to have everything. His name is Daniel. He's a billionaire. He has it all. The luxury cars, the private jets, the fancy parties. Money isn't something he worries about. He has more than enough of it. But Daniel isn't happy. His life is full of meetings, deals, and numbers. Every day, he's surrounded by people who want something from him, but no one ever really sees him. Not for who he is. Not for what he really wants in life. He's at the top, but sometimes it feels like he's just drifting. No matter how much he's accomplished, there's a sense of emptiness that follows him. It's not about the money anymore. He's got everything, yet he can't shake the feeling that something is missing. He spends most of his time in his office, working late into the night. The glow of the computer screen is the only light in the room. The work piles up, and so does the loneliness. Sometimes, he wonders if he's made the right choices, but it's hard to change when you've built everything you have with money and power. Daniel has everything except one thing. Meaning. He's lost touch with the world outside his office, the simple joys, the little things that once mattered, and he wonders if he'll ever feel truly alive again. But today is different. As he walks out of his office, he steps into the busy streets below. The world feels disconnected, yet there's something about it that pulls him in. He doesn't know it yet, but today, his life is about to change. Something, or someone, will pull him out of his routine, and he won't see it coming. It's a typical afternoon when Daniel decides to step outside the walls of his office. The city is alive, as it always is. People hurry along the sidewalks, heading to their next destination. The sound of traffic fills the air, but somewhere in the midst of it all, a voice stands out. Daniel slows his pace. He can hear it faintly at first, soft, but powerful. The kind of voice that makes you stop and listen. He turns his head, looking for the source, and then he sees him. A man is standing by the corner of the street, his guitar slung over his shoulder. The performer doesn't have a stage or bright lights, just a small cardboard sign, barely visible among the crowd, and his music. The street performer, Alex, is lost in his own world. He doesn't notice the people walking by. He doesn't notice the noise or the rush. He's focused entirely on the music, on the lyrics, on the moment. His voice is raw, full of emotion, like he's telling a story only he knows. Each word seems to carry a weight, like it's been lived. There's something in his voice that tugs at Daniel's heart. Something familiar, something that makes him stop in his tracks. The sounds of the city fade as Daniel moves closer, drawn in by the performance. For the first time in a long while, Daniel feels something real. The music connects with him in a way nothing else has. It's not the polished sound of a studio artist, it's real, raw, and vulnerable. Alex finishes his song, and for a moment, there's silence. People continue walking, not stopping. Some glance over, but most are too busy to care. Alex looks down at the tip jar, sighs, and starts to pack up his guitar. He doesn't expect anyone to stop. Daniel stands there for a moment, unsure of what to do. His heart is still racing from the impact of the song. It's like a door inside him has been opened. He realizes that this moment, this voice, is what he's been searching for, the authenticity. The passion, the kind of raw talent that no amount of money or power can buy. As Alex gathers his things, Daniel steps forward. He doesn't know why, but he feels compelled to talk to him, to acknowledge the talent he's just witnessed. He clears his throat, and Alex looks up, surprised to see someone standing so close. "Hey," Daniel says, trying to sound casual, but his voice carries a hint of awe. "I just wanted to say, that was incredible." Alex blinks, not sure if he heard correctly. "Oh, thanks, I'm just doing my thing." "No, really," Daniel continues. "That was something special. I mean it. You have a gift." Alex, still a little confused, looks at the man in front of him. He doesn't recognize him, and for a moment, he wonders why the stranger would even care. But there's something about the way Daniel speaks that makes him pause. Daniel smiles. "I'm Daniel," he says, extending a hand, "and I think I have an idea that could change your life." Alex stands there, unsure of what to make of the situation. He's used to people ignoring him, walking right past without a second glance. But this stranger is looking at him like he's someone important. It's almost too much to believe. Daniel watches Alex closely, his gaze filled with sincerity. He knows that what he's about to say could change everything for this man. For a moment, the busy city around them feels distant, like it's just the two of them in this small corner of the world. "I'm not just some random guy," Daniel continues, trying to break the tension. "I can offer you something. Something that could give you the chance you deserve." Alex narrows his eyes. "Offer me something?" he asks, his voice filled with a mix of skepticism and curiosity. He doesn't want to get his hopes up. He's heard it all before. People making promises, offering help, but nothing ever comes through. "I'm not here to waste your time," Daniel replies, his voice steady. "I've been listening to you. I know talent when I hear it. What you've got, it's real. You can't fake that kind of passion." Alex looks down at his guitar, unsure of what to say. Part of him wants to laugh it off. No one's ever spoken to him like this before. But there's something about Daniel's words that makes him pause. "You've got something rare," Daniel continues, "and I want to help you take it to the next level. I'm in the business of finding talent, real talent, and I think you've got what it takes." Alex shifts his weight, glancing at the busy street around them. "But I'm just a street performer," he says quietly. "I don't even know how to get into the industry." Daniel smiles. "That's the thing. I can help you with all that. I have the connections, the resources, everything you need to make this happen. All I'm asking is that you take the chance. It could change your life." Alex feels a mixture of excitement and disbelief. Is this real? Is this really happening? A man like this, someone with power and influence, offering him a chance? "I'm serious," Daniel says, sensing Alex's hesitation. "This is your shot. What you do with it is up to you." Alex swallows hard, trying to wrap his mind around it. His heart races in his chest. Could this be the break he's been waiting for? Or is it just another empty promise? "I'll think about it," Alex says, his voice barely above a whisper. Daniel nods, understanding the hesitation. "Take your time, but remember, opportunities like this don't come around often." And with that, Daniel turns and starts to walk away. Alex watches him go, his mind spinning. He can hardly believe what just happened. What if this is the moment he's been dreaming of? The days that follow are a blur for Alex. He can't stop thinking about what Daniel said. The offer feels unreal, like something out of a dream. Every time he closes his eyes, he hears the billionaire's words. "You have a gift, I want to help you take it to the next level." But doubt creeps in. What if it's too good to be true? What if Daniel is just another person who will waste his time? Alex has been let down before. He's been promised opportunities that never panned out. But there's something different about this. Something that makes him wonder if this time, things might be different. A few days pass, and Alex decides to take a chance. He calls the number Daniel gave him. His hands shake as he dials. He doesn't know what he's expecting, but he doesn't expect the calm, reassuring voice on the other end. "Hello, Alex," Daniel says. "I'm glad you called." Alex swallows hard. "I've been thinking about what you said, and I want to take that chance." Daniel's voice softens. "I knew you would. It's a big decision, but I'm confident you've got what it takes." The two of them talk through the details. Daniel explains the next steps, introducing Alex to music producers, setting up a meeting with a recording studio, and putting together a plan for his music career. It all sounds overwhelming, but in the best possible way. The excitement builds inside Alex, but so does the nervousness. Can he really do this? Can he really turn his dreams into something real? The next week, Alex finds himself in a fancy recording studio, staring at a microphone, surrounded by producers and sound engineers. It's nothing like the street corners he's used to. There are no crowds walking by, no noise of traffic. It's quiet here, just the hum of equipment and the occasional murmur of the team working around him. Alex takes a deep breath, adjusts the mic, and starts to sing. The music fills the room, and for the first time in a long time, he feels like he belongs. He pours his heart into the song, just like he did on the streets. But this time, it's different. This time, people are listening. This time, he has a chance. Daniel watches from the other side of the studio, a smile playing on his lips. He knew this was the right choice. He could see the raw talent Alex had, the way his voice carried so much emotion, the way his music connected with people. Daniel wasn't wrong. Alex had something special. As Alex finishes the song, there's a brief silence. Then, the producer claps his hands. "That was incredible. We've got something here." Alex can hardly believe it. His heart races. This is it. This is what he's been waiting for. Daniel walks over, placing a hand on Alex's shoulder. "You did it," he says quietly. "This is just the beginning." Alex can't help but grin, the weight of everything finally sinking in. His dream is coming true, and it's all because he decided to take a chance. After that first recording session, Alex's world changes in ways he never imagined. He's been in the studio every day, learning, singing, recording. It's overwhelming, but in the best possible way. The producers love his voice, and the tracks are starting to take shape. But deep down, Alex is still processing it all. He can't believe it. One moment, he was standing on the street corner, singing for a few spare coins. And now, here he is, recording songs in a real studio, with people listening to him, believing in him. Every time he walks into the studio, it feels surreal. He's still trying to wrap his mind around the fact that someone like Daniel, someone with so much power, so much influence, believed in him. A street performer. Alex can't stop thinking about the moment Daniel offered him the opportunity. It feels like a dream, but every note he sings reminds him that it's real. In quiet moments, when he's alone in his apartment, Alex wonders if he truly deserves this. He thinks about all the years he spent singing on the streets, hoping for a break, and now that it's finally here, it's hard to believe. But then, he remembers the look in Daniel's eyes when he offered him the chance. He remembers the trust Daniel placed in him. Alex isn't gonna let that go. He's gonna make this work. He smiles to himself, standing in front of the mirror. This is just the beginning. And with each step forward, Alex feels more and more certain. He belongs here. As weeks go by, Alex's life continues to transform. What started as a simple opportunity has become the chance of a lifetime. The recording sessions are becoming more frequent, and the music is starting to feel like it's really his. Every time he steps into the studio, he feels a mix of nerves and excitement. But with every song, he gets more comfortable, more confident. The producers begin to talk about an album. A real album. They tell him it's going to take time, but that he's got something special. They say it's rare to find someone with his raw emotional sound. Alex can hardly believe it. He's still adjusting to the idea of being an artist in the studio, not just a guy singing on a corner for spare change. Daniel's influence is everywhere. He's introduced Alex to people in the industry, people who know what it takes to make it big. The connections are starting to come together. Alex is learning about the business side of things, about how the industry works. But the more he learns, the more he realizes just how lucky he is to have someone like Daniel in his corner. There are moments of doubt, though. There's always that voice in the back of Alex's mind, reminding him where he came from. The streets, the long hours, the uncertainty. Sometimes, when he looks at his old guitar, it feels like a lifetime ago. He can't help but wonder if this new life is real. But then he walks into the studio, hears the first notes of his songs, and remembers why he's here. The reality hits him when he gets his first offer to perform at a small venue. It's not a huge stage yet, but it's a step in the right direction. His first real performance. He's nervous, of course. The thought of standing in front of an audience, people expecting him to sing, to deliver, it's overwhelming. But Daniel is there, standing in the wings, offering a reassuring smile. "You've got this," Daniel says before Alex steps out on stage. Alex breathes deeply, the sound of the crowd filling his ears, and then he begins to sing.